from my Carolina home. Had dreams about the West and started to roam. 6 long months on a dust-covered trail. They say heaven's at the end, but so far it's been hell. And there's fire on the mountain, lightning in the air, gold in them hills, and it's waiting for me there. We were digging and shifting 5 to 5, selling everything we found just to stay alive. Gold flowed free like the whiskey in the bars. Sinning was the big thing, Lord, and Satan was a star. And there's fire on the mountain, lightning in the air, gold in them hills, and it's waiting for me there. And blood lined the streets. Men were shot down for the sake of having fun, or just to hear the noise of their 44 guns. And there's fire on the mountain, lightning in the air, gold in them hills, and it's waiting for me there. Now my widow, she weeps by my grave. Tears flow free for her man couldn't save. Shot down in cold blood by a gun that carried fame, all for the useless and no good, worthless claim. And there's fire on the mountain, lightning in the air, gold in them hills, and it's waiting for me there. And there's fire on the mountain, lightning in the air, gold in them hills, and it's waiting for me there.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hey, 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 YouTubers and friends, how are all of you doing tonight? Absolutely fabulous, I hope. Mary, it was great meeting you at Freedom Fest. Heath, great seeing you again. Eric, good seeing you again. And Miles, happy birthday to Miles. Brad Welsh, g'day, mate. How you doing this morning? G. Lassie, welcome, welcome. And the Joker, where's the Joker? There he is. I know I'm gonna butcher your name. Demas Koblen. I'm not even gonna try butchering it. Well, thanks for being a long-time viewer, and it's nice to meet you here at Tuesday Night Hangout Live. Thanks for being here. David Alfonzati Art, good to see you. No Gold in Utah, Gold Pro Unlimited, good to see you. And the world's greatest moderator, Mr. Lodak. Careless Whispers, I know you haven't been a guest, but you got your mod wings, girl. Hobo Rob, good seeing you. And I saw that Stony Creek Spark Chaser. Oh, damn Sparkies. Good to see some of my Washingtonian friends here. All my friends around the world. It's always good to see you. Paul C., looking forward to seeing you here in a couple weeks at Bosick. I also thought I saw Ohio Relic Hunter. I did. Hey, Bill, how are you, my friend? And Ford. Good to see you, Michael. I mean, Wilbur. Wilbur. Aaron. When I was getting ready for my live, I saw a little flash in that pan. Nice little smile in that pan. Gold is where you find it. Otherwise, used to be known as rookie gold prospecting. And I call him Aaron. Alaska Gold Hunter, how are you doing? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you in my live chat as always. And that's about it for now in the chat. And if you want me to see you're here, be sure to tag me in the chat because it jumps out at me then. It's orange and I can see it. Zoo, good to see you. Johnny Turtle in the house. Good evening, good evening. JP Luns and more. Great seeing you over the weekend, my brother. And if Mike and Melissa are are lurking. It was really, really good seeing them along with Luke Duke and others. Julie Hansen, how are you doing, Banshee Mining? Awesome, awesome, awesome. Oh, and tonight, if you stay around to the end of the stream, we're having an end of stream giveaway sponsored by my friends over at prospectorsdream.com via Venture Sluice, but I don't have one back here, I don't think. I think it's in my truck. No, I just have some mats in the drawer. No Venture Sluice, just mats. But gotta stay here till the end to get in on that. Good seeing you, Banshee. I just watched one of your shorts this afternoon, actually, about it was featuring the Yuba River and the Siphon Sluice, made by our guest tonight, Brandon from ToothPick Mining. So, with that being said, don't go away. Brandon and I will be right back.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Tuesday Night Hangout Live. It's Tuesday night, Hangout Live. It's Tuesday night, Hangout Live. It's Tuesday night, Hangout Live. With your host, Ed Marvin. Tuesday Night Hangout Live is a Flash in Your Pan production.
All right, better make sure the desktop is unmuted so we can hear Brandon when he talks. Welcome, Brandon. Welcome to Tuesday Night Hangout Live. It's good to
Thank you,
have
sir. Thank you.
Yeah, I was sorry about the mix-up and double booking you. I'm glad it kind of worked out, you know. I I
Yeah,
had
that's
one
okay.
I had one guest cancel out on me, and thank you for being fill-in for him and make up for me double booking you.
Yeah, no. Hey, just thank you for having me on.
To start things off, can you tell us a bit about your background and how you got involved in gold prospecting and mining, Brandon?
Yeah, so I've always been a treasure hunter. Uh, just whatever. I just, fossils, whatever. Um, I really wanted to get into gold prospecting, but I always lived in places that didn't have gold.
Mm-hmm.
So when I moved to California, like 6 years ago, I think, I got into it, found my first colors, caught the fever.
Yeah.
Since then, yeah, I did it for a couple months, but really, I didn't have a lot of what was it, confidence in my painting skills and sourcing skills and stuff. So yeah, I collected up a 5 gallon bucket of concentrates that I got from there. And since then, I've been just trying to find something and make something to process it all.
I
Uh,
like making stuff too, the do it home stuff, but I two people that I've talked about to you during pre-show happen to be in our live chat, and I both know they have videos on the Siphon Sluice. Now you have a couple of models, right? You have the Nano and what else?
Yeah, so when I first started, it was like a basic model and built off of that. One of my actually my very first customer suggested that I make a dual nano option. And so yeah, I made that. That's pretty much the two available now. There are, you know, once I finish up with one, like a whole new other ideal comes to mind, and I just yeah, it's hard. So basically one for now, but I have some plans of making like larger ones and stuff like that.
Uh, Now your Siphon Sluice has gained some attention, like I've talked about. Vendetta prospecting. My friend Mike has a video on it. Julie Banshee Mining has a video or two on it. Can you explain what the Siphon Sluice is and how it works for everybody? I know it's a fluid bed system. Can you explain the concept and everything uh, for those who might know, and what inspired you to create it again? If we need to rehash that, we can. So,
Yeah. Uh, what inspired it was quite a bit of a longer story. But the way it works. Okay, sorry, looking at the wrong camera. Um, so everything you get the material and from the water pump goes through here, the material falls down, everything goes to the center. The discharge tube wraps around the inflow, and that way it's able to utilize the whole trap all the way around.
mm-hmm.
Um, it gets a little it's a little harder to explain what happens like actually inside, but
Well, it's a fluid bed initially, right? So
yeah, yeah.
you have constantly have water moving in there, keeping everything in that cylinder in a fluid state. So your gold drops to. Do you have a gold trap on the bottom on that, or?
No, actually, it's just the empty. Well, this one is something different. I usually have the bolt and stuff in there, but this one is I'm working on a one for crushed ore.
Okay.
But no, it gets pushed down, and then
To
it's
the
just really
bottom
hard
of
for the.
that cup.
What's that?
It gets pushed down to the bottom of the cup.
Yes, sir. The so the the infill, or I'm still working on the names. The inflow and the hopper port are mixed together, and it gets forced down. Once it's down there, it's really hard for the gold to make its way back up. And yeah, it's I don't know. It's
There's a comment in the room. It says, that looks like it was stolen from a hospital. Now, does your wife, is she work in ER or something? And you're like at work one day and say, hey man, I could make something out of that. Or do you 3D print everything?
I 3D print pretty much everything. The cup I buy, obviously the O-rings I don't, um, but everything else, yeah. And yeah, it was really a trial and error kind of process. So one step led to the next, and it ended up looking like this.
I'm sure every do-it-yourselfer goes through it, that trial and error, that tweaking and fine-tuning. It's pretty much always uh, a work in progress, isn't it?
Endless work in progress. Yeah. Because once I finish one step, my mind automatically thinks, "Oh, I could do this and I could do that." Gets overwhelming.
All things country, I agree. Fluid bed systems, many types, are very neat concepts. He says, I have seen many other systems similar to it that cost hundreds more. Isn't the gold drop kind of similar, but on a much, 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 much larger scale?
It's
Like there's been something that's been out for ages also. It's the Gold Lab or something like that. It goes a feeder into a blue bowl, into something else, into another thing, into another. I have to say some of the inventions out there are pretty much um, Frankenstein's creations, but they're really cool. That's only like $100 for the Nano, right?
yes. And I'm gonna be reducing the prices here in a couple days by $10-20 or something. It'll work out all the details, but yeah, it's and really just the single one, I think I'll put about 45, and that's really all you need. The dual is more for so you don't have to run it twice if you don't want to. But yeah, it's a little more simpler.
Uh, Innovations in prospecting tools can significantly impact the boy, I wish I could talk better, people. Efficiency and success. What challenges did you face during the development of the Siphon Sluice, and how did you overcome them?
Oh, it was one problem after the next. So I'd come up with an ideal, test it for, you know, 5-10 seconds, which is as long as that ideal would last. And I add to it and stuff like that. So originally it started off with this, just like a capsule, has two
Mm-hmm.
holes. You have the water going in and then the discharge tube coming out. And with this one, I seen that basically it was a U shape. So as soon as the trap gets filled up, it would come straight out. Then I had the epiphany of what if I ran it down the center and then had the discharge tube surrounding it, basically come out. I did that and it worked out pretty well. Then after that, I was like, why not just add the hopper on top? Um, and that was sort of the next epiphany that I got. So yeah,
I don't know, Bent Fork. Sorry. One of my chatters is having a problems with emojis. I don't know. I don't want to touch them because my chat room locked up. Did he say where he got his name? Not yet, Mr. Lodak. Since Mr. Lodak brought it up. Where'd you come up with your name, Siphon Sluice?
Yeah, so the before I was working on the nanos, I was working on an actual sluice, or it's supposed to be an actual sluice. So I was hoping to build a sluice. My original idea was that I wanted to have a 5-gallon hopper bucket that I could just throw dirt in and have it self-feed and maybe even classify by itself, um, using siphon effects. Because I've
Mm-hmm.
seen videos long time ago about where they ran the long tube down the river to create that siphon, and
Oh,
they had the
gravity dredges. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. So um yeah, I wanted to build off of that concept. And so instead of having the trap at the very end, I wanted to have it in the big in the front, and then you feed it. Uh
Well, I guess they're talking about toothpick
oh,
mining
that's
instead of
yeah.
the
That's so
siphon sluice.
okay. That's what I originally thought because I knew that question was gonna come up.
Mary,
uh
Mary, autism magnet fishing Mary, she goes, maybe Lodak, he's thin as a toothpick. Um,
that's actually that yeah. Back in my younger days, well, I'm not old, but when I was younger too, yeah, my name was Toothpick. But
ah,
my first original YouTube channel is called Master Toothpick. I used to make toothpick models of ancient ballistic weapons,
oh wow. Like
and yeah,
trebuchets and
yeah,
stuff like
trebuchets
that.
and ballistas. And so I at first I wanted to say Toothpick Master, which seemed little like self-indulgent, whatever the word is. And but then I thought about Master Toothpick, and I was like, oh, that seems cool. It's a little more like a parody kind of funny thing.
Kind of
Um,
ninja too. Ah, Master
yeah,
Toothpick.
yeah. So I wanted to branch off of my original YouTube channel, kind of keep that brand.
Mm-hmm.
So I decided to name it Toothpick Mining,
Oh, right on.
and it's sort of a metaphor too, because it's like toothpick is simple, so I want to focus on the simplicity of things.
Kind of like keep it simple, stupid, right?
Yeah.
Uh,
So
it's
everything is so
less is
complex,
more, simple is more type thing.
you know. Everything is so complex until you figure it out, and then it's just stupid simple. So yeah, that's kind of the background of that.
Oh, Mary, be nice. He said, did he say when he was younger? What, when
I
he
know that's
was
why I had to
two?
correct
He
myself.
isn't old now. He's 30. He's not super young. He's getting
I'm
up there.
34, so yeah.
Okay, 34. Okay. It, he's just not as old as dirt like you and I, Mary. So.
Yeah.
That's right. Careless. Mary, uncensored. But I can tell you that Mary, she's a hugger. Got a nice hug from Mary this weekend, too.
Oh, that's good. Nice to meet you, Mary, kind of.
Yeah, here in the Eastern Midwest, our friend Can Do Veteran had his Freedom Fest. It surrounds his birthday party down at Cottonwood Trails Gold Camp in Greensburg, Indiana, which Jim and Shannon do a real good job of taking care of it and managing it. There's been some good gold come out of there, some fossils and nice gemstones, mostly garnets, but diamonds have been known to be found. I found arrowheads there too, but it was Candu's second Freedom Fest, and Mary came down from Michigan to join us there, and people there from California, Washington, Florida, um, the Carolinas, Tennessee, um, Colorado, yes, Heath, New York, Connecticut, and all over the place. 3 from New York, pardon me, 3 from New York. A couple from PA and 1 from Connecticut. All over the place. It was a nice gathering. A lot more than last year, huh, Heath?
Yeah, I need to do some more outings and gatherings. Get
They're fun. I should have went for the whole weekend. I only went for 1 day, and I even took a nap while I was there. I took prospecting stuff and didn't even get in the water. I just visited, and then I ate a little and left. 35 to 37 more than last year. Yeah, I believe it. I know, ain't I? They're making fun of me right now because I have my AI Ed up, and All Things Country is saying Ed is YouTube's greatest ventriloquist. Hey,
Yeah, I can see that.
Heavy Metal Detective Colin, it was great seeing you this weekend, man. The Canadian Hillbilly, how are you doing? I haven't forgot you, Kevin. I got your stickers and coins still. I haven't been able to get out. What's going down in the FlashFam cyber chat? How you doing, Gold Hunter 77 and Robert Dupati? How you doing? All right, back to my guest, everybody. You're distracting me.
Ah, it's okay. I'm still
Now,
getting comfortable.
um, I know we almost touched base on this a little, but like I have a couple of fluid bed sluices I made that are much like the old time uh, bazooka fluid bed sluice, and I have the Green Mountain Gold Trap, which is a phenomenal fluid bed classifier with a removable capture tray. But can you explain the difference between your fluid bed system and the traditional fluid bed system?
Yeah, so I I don't have a whole lot of experience in the prospecting field. And with the existing technologies, when I first got to California, I spent like 3 months down in LA, East Fork of San Gabriel River, uh, panning and sluicing.
Mm-hmm.
And then I took all my concentrates up here to where I'm living now. Since then, I've basically just been working on my own stuff. So yeah, I'm honestly unfamiliar with the other ones.
Oh, well, that's
But
fine. But the concept's the same, pretty much. So all of you, if you know what a fluid bed system is, Um, that's how his his creation works.
Yeah, so something a little, like I said, I don't really know the other ones, but with this, um, it's hard to explain in the live. But so we have positive pressure coming in through this side, and then basically negative pressure from the siphon.
Mm-hmm.
And those working together is able to, yeah, I don't know, those working together are able to circulate the material in a closed system. So I guess the only fluid beds I really remember is like an open
Like
container.
the sluice box, right? Or a open box
Yeah,
that's
yeah, open.
bubbling that you put material in.
Yeah, yeah. So it's this one's a little different because the input and output are a lot more restricted.
Right.
I guess might be a good way of saying it.
Now, I noticed in one of your videos that you were also putting water in the hopper to help it go through the system better, I presume. Do
Yeah.
you see yourself adding a drip setup? Because there's an object on your website over at toothpickmining.com, the microfeeder. Uh, it looks like it could almost be incorporated where you could almost have a tube going into your feeder that slowly drops water into your feeder instead of having a scoop material into or water into it.
Yeah. So uh what I learned, I was originally thinking about adding some kind of dripper tube or something here. But once you fill the material up and you put enough water on top, um, there will be a layer of water that sits there, and the water won't be able to drain out until all the material is drained. So when I tried adding extra water flow into the hopper, it just sort of overflows. The feeder is actually this one. So the hopper port is here, and it'll drain down. The the smaller material will actually get sucked up through this port into
Okay.
a trap, which eventually will be the nano. Um, and then this one feeds into a larger trap, which is sort of like this, but bigger. This is a small one I had. So yeah, eventually I'm hoping if it works out right that I'll be able to put at least like quarter-inch material through the hopper. The smaller stuff will get sucked up through there, go into the nano. The
Mhm.
larger stuff will come out of here and go to a different trap.
You say you can take material up to a quarter inch. Did I hear right?
Yeah, this well, it depends on the size. This one's a little bit smaller, so maybe a little bit bigger would be more ideal for quarter. But yeah, it just this thing it really depends on the size.
Right.
Uh, our quarter, yeah, maybe like a little more than the eighth inch for the one I have here.
Okay. That I was gonna say a quarter. Man, that piece right there of a microfeeder looks a little small for a quarter. An eighth
It
I could definitely see.
Yeah, or a little bit larger than an eighth. Obviously the diagonal of the mesh is that, and then the longer, skinnier pieces of rock is something I have to really work on with that.
Oh,
But
um,
so
I
this
have
is what I was
some
working on before
videos
I.
available. I could play them if you want. Um, like the microfeeder's most basic function.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, that's more of a like a using the self feeding one, but it
mhm.
also has a classifier right here. Um, I can go over that if you want me to, but
Here, I could. Do you give me permission to play it? And
oh yeah, yes sir. You play whatever you want.
give me permission and share it with the audience and whatnot. And
Definitely,
don't
yeah.
put a copyright notice on me.
Oh no, no, I would not do nothing like that.
Right on. Um, so let me find that video, and I'm gonna play it. And do you have the live stream up or just the live chat room?
Um, I have the stream on my phone and then the Zoom on my computer.
Yeah, so if you have the stream on, you'll see it. It'd be delayed. The latencies, I'm not sure what the latency is at this particular time. I haven't checked it at all. But you'll see it when it comes up. And if you want to add any information to it, please do. But here it is in action, everybody. We're gonna vanish for a minute and you'll see nothing but the video he has on his website. Now, it was the second one down, um, I believe, on your website, not the first one there for the microfeeder's basic function. It's a short clip of it.
Yeah, so
And
that's just
that's
that's
more or less just showing the function of it. Right now, it's not set up to capture any gold, right?
yeah, it's just a feeder, a automatic feeder basically.
Oh, so that would feed it into your nano from there. The one that's going into that green cup, that would be
Uh,
typically going into your nano then?
that one would be going into a larger gold trap.
Okay,
Uh, the tube sticking up, which basically I have disabled, would be going to the nano.
okay.
So it can run two traps at the same time.
The vertical one going up would be going to the nano, and the lower one that's going to the cup would be going to a bigger capture unit, correct?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, and you can see the gold stuck at the bottom at the.
On the other bit, yeah. Uh, let's see. I I could share that. I could have. I might have been on your YouTube channel that I was watching it.
Yeah, most of the older ones are on my YouTube.
Okay, now the Siphon Sluice Nano for just the Nano is $55. That ain't bad at all. And for the dual, it's 110. And you said you're right now. His website says sold out, everybody. But doesn't matter because they're coming up, right? You're restructuring a little, and price reduction, was it you said?
Yeah, yeah. I'm adjusting the prices a little bit and catching up on just R&D and orders and trying to get restructured here. Yeah.
Right on. No.
It should be, I don't maybe 4 days or less. I'll have them available again.
Cool. Let me go to your channel, and then I could play one with play a video, if you don't mind, of it's actually in operation.
Yeah, no, like,
Thomas Folks, welcome. Good to see you, buddy. Glad you had a great time in New Hampshire at the rendezvous. I'm going to share your page here. So if you want to check it out, there's a link to Brandon's YouTube channel down in the description. ToothPick Mining. And that's a little long. That's a tortoral. Let's see a short of it in action. Nothing too terribly long. Guess
yeah. So the this piece, I haven't worked on this in about a year and a half, so it's in
I
the
have
older.
your website up, Brandon, your channel. I was gonna play a quick video of it actually working. And you have a
Yeah, you have to.
short right here with the vibing.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
You add a vibrator to it?
yeah. Something one of my customers has
Something a
been.
customer recommended?
Yeah, there's been several people that did it that recommended. One of my customers, as you can see, the tower, they're working on his own stuff. And
Looks like
so
he's
yeah,
running crush ore too.
yeah, this is gold sulfide material. It's assay reference material, certified reference material. So since it's sulfide, I wasn't able to pan out any free gold.
Right.
But yeah, I just it's it's teaching me about, because like all these little parts, I can design different pieces inside to do different things. So it was sort of teaching me about um, the material and all that. I actually have some roasted gold ore coming from Alaska any day now, hopefully. So I'll be able to properly test it.
I have another one showing. It's shout out to Pete and Leon.
Yeah. So
Uh,
that's a customer in Australia who's designing his own stand for it, which acts as a third stage gold trap. It's a
that was
vortex.
kind of funny. It kind of looks like a bong.
I know, I know. Every time I ship internationally, it's like I'm expecting a call.
What kind
Yep.
of paraphernalia are you shipping? Yeah, to me it looks like almost the check out the gold drop. but it's a lot more complicated and much, much more expensive. It's on a bigger scale. Just going running through some of your shorts.
So yeah, that one was a slightly larger one. I'm hoping to get back to.
I think fluid bed systems, a lot of them work really, really well. Jim, how you doing, Rock Butcher? These vertical separators that work with water flow are fussy, but once you get them dialed in, they work well. I'd have to agree on pretty much any fluid bed system about that, Jim. All things country.
Yeah, so I don't like I said, I'm very new to all the prospecting equipment and stuff, but I've seen that if I run this off a USB water pump, it flows. Once it gets too built up, the feed rate and the hopper will actually slow down. So it's sort of self-regulating in that sense. Um, so you really can just plug it up, let it run. The very dense material takes a little longer. So you kind of, you just have to keep putting that, make sure that level of water is on top. But yeah, there's really no valves. There's no bunch of adjustments to make.
It looks pretty simple for the most part, straightforward. Uh, if Mike is still in here, I think Vendetta really liked it, and along with Banshee Mining. Hey, Brad. Great meeting you over the weekend, Rocky Mountain Prospector. Hope you're home safe and sound. AU Diver, Greg, how you doing? Good to see you. Rock Butcher in the chat room. That's Jim. He's a geologist. I've used similar system to concentrate garnets and other heavies associated with diamonds.
Yeah, and I appreciate that all things country saying it's affordable. There are some people that sort of complain about the price. And that was mainly because I don't want to make any enemies in this field, I didn't want to undercut the market, and I didn't want to work 24/7 and not be able to make enough money to grow a business.
Right.
So, those were all the things considered.
Well, you're not in business to lose money, and you're not in
Yeah.
business not to make money. That's the one great thing about the American way, You can follow your entrepreneur spirit, and if you can make something that works good, hey, why not capitalize on it? What about
Yeah.
water pressure? Robert Tapati wants to know. I'm not sure if this was answered, but is this an original idea or is it from something else? Is this original or what inspired you? Did
Yeah,
something
so
inspire you?
I've had inspirations before, but nothing that directly inspired this. So that was that's why I kind of brought up this, is I was working on this and it ended up feeding 2 traps, one for the small, one for the big traps.
Okay.
And I started to learn that for the microfine gold, fluid bed trap was probably the best thing. In order to make it work, in order to make a fluid bed trap work with this, I needed to have it encapsulated. Like everything has to be hermetically sealed. So I started off with the input and output. And that's when I realized like gold is just gonna drop down, come right back up.
Mm-hmm.
And so I needed to make something inside of here that was going to utilize the entire trap and not just like loose gold or whatever. So yeah, I started with this, and then I made some little adjustments trying to make the everything fall to the center and fall up uh, and go up, but it just wasn't working. So yeah, just trial and error.
Trial and error. That's what R&D is all about, right? Trial
Yeah,
and error. But
go to sleep thinking one thing, you wake up the next morning, you test it out, you learn what you tested from there. So I've been doing this for almost 6 years now, 5.5 years. It's when I really first started thinking of ideals and trying different things. So before I got to the nanos, I have a good 4 years of R&D uh, experience.
very good. Um, I have a thing about fluid beds. They work, and I was in a community. We often do watch parties for like Gold Rush, Whitewater, and other stuff over at goldprospectorspace.com. And in Zoom, I was sharing um, some of your videos with the guys, and um, it did really good. You, on the first pass, you captured most of the gold. I know you had a little bit in the second pass, but it's doing what you made it to do. And is it meant for on-stream crevicing and stuff, kind of out of bank and crevice and classify? Or is your true intention like in your cleanup room at home, doing your cleanup after a weekend out or a day out or months of accumulation of concentrates that you can run through it?
Yeah, you know what? So when I first started working on it, I was doing the siphon sluice. So I was trying to get that done, but it was taking so long. The progress is slow. So I said, why not just focus on the fluid bed trap? Um, and I didn't really have a market for it in mind. I just started making it, and then I seen the results I was getting. Um, and I didn't know that everybody would get the same results, because every dirt's different, like everybody's
Right.
situation is different. But I figured it was good enough to just start getting my name out there. And that's all I really wanted. It's just something simple to start getting my foot in the door, basically.
Right. Now,
Uh,
when you were refining your vision and stuff, were you doing it stream side, or would you gather material and bring it back home to your shop? And
yeah,
I do
so
have a question after you answer that. I have a question from Rock Butcher also. But go
okay,
ahead.
yeah, so I originally started off with my like 4 gallons, 5 gallons of concentrates. But also basically no, it's just inside at home.
So
Um,
it's basically for a cleanup tool at home compared to like the Blue Bowl or the Miller table or something like that. You could just feed it into your siphon sluice to get your cons into super cons where it's easier to get to clean gold. I from what I understand then.
yeah, so I've been told that it's like a super concentrator, and then they um with my material I can paint it out, but with smaller stuff, yeah, I think like the Miller table and stuff would be the final finishing step. But again, I've never used a blue bowl or Miller table, so I
One day you might.
yeah, yeah, for sure.
I'll get to that bent fork, but let me do rock butchers first because I saw it and he tagged me in it, so it popped right out at me bent. Um, question, rock butcher. I might have missed this part coming in late. Does this gear require a lot of classifying before running, or can it just, or can you just dump in quarter-inch minus? We kind of touched on that, didn't we? Um, uh,
Yeah, and we were talking about this one. And it depends on the size. I have I have a lot larger one I started to work on. Um, but I mean, it
wow,
really depends
that's
on the
a big,
size.
huge. It all
Yeah,
depends on that little piece. Like we said, you brought up a quarter-inch before. That big one I could see handling quarter-inch.
yeah, that
But
was a misspoken on my side.
but like the small one, it'd be like minus eighth or greater. Now,
Yeah, it's interesting as long as it makes it through this part right here. Um, when it goes down here, the way the water flows and everything, I've noticed it. If it's a long, skinny piece, it really lines it up with the tube and just sort of pushes it through.
okay.
S- Not every time, but yeah, that's another thing I have to figure out with that design. That's
Now,
why I'm not really pushing that sail yet. I got to
okay.
get back to working on that.
Bent Fork Prospecting. Sorry, I'm sorry if it was mentioned, but has he combined magnets with the system in any way? I don't know. Good question, Bent Fork. Have you incorporated any magnets at all with it?
So for testing purposes, what I like to do is see how far I can push it without doing the obvious stuff, like adding a magnet and vibrator. Um, I haven't done it yet, but one of my customers, that's building the stand, has a magnet in the middle of the base here, and when it flows through here, all the magnetics get caught and come out. So
And
yeah,
that's
he
the
was
one the Aussie was developing that base. That's pretty cool, but man, does it
yeah,
look like a water pipe.
yeah. And so he sent
Look
me
at that
this.
thing, guys.
He sent me this, and I was like, "Oh, I have to add another trap just because it looks like it's missing something."
Right.
So yeah, this is what I'm gonna be testing out in a day or two. I just got done designing this one,
Cool.
so
It looks pretty cool. Uh, Mr. Lodak, let Let me see. With his toothpick hobby, has he recreated any old mining equipment? Have you built any mining equipment with your toothpick hobby? You said you did all the weaponry like catapults and trebuchets and stuff. Ever built a mainframe or something?
That would be awesome. Yeah, I haven't messed with any toothpicks and super glue in like 10 years, but if I ever got back into it, I'd probably do that for sure.
Benzo! Benzo Gold says, Evening, Ed, Jurin, Toothpick Mining. Good to see you, brother. It was great seeing you over the weekend for sure, brother. Taco Tuesday in the chat room, Benzo says.
And so I did find like 2 years ago, I found a patent for an actual like siphon sluice. After I made the siphon sluice name, I was really like trying to research if I'm infringing or anything on anybody. And there's
Right.
this patent from 1879 where they had the sluice going downhill, but then they also had this piece going up and over that would actually siphon that water material up. So it's like a second stage. And this was like from 1879 or something. I really want to go back and try to recreate that part and see if it works and stuff because I think that was just so interesting.
I guess it's better American do backwards engineering than the Chinese, huh?
Yeah, yeah,
Or reverse engineering, I should say, huh? Oh, brother Ed. Let me see here. Now, you said you're still fairly new at prospecting. I've been doing it for over 30 years and I'm still new, so we have a long road ahead of us.
yeah. And I mean new because I started it 6 years ago, but most of my what I consider my prospecting time has really been at home, just thinking of ideals and testing them. So I don't have a lot of like field work. I have like 4 or 5 months in total of
Oh,
actual
yeah.
field.
Well, you need to get out on those rivers, you know. You're just on the other side of the big valley. Head over to the mother lode, get some of that good dirt.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Bring home a bunch of classified buckets. Well, maybe not. And terrains there's a bit different than here. Yeah.
yeah. No, I've been through a couple couple times a summer. I'll go out there. We went down one crazy spot in Auburn where you drive all the way down to the water. It's like I don't know, half a mile. You're driving down a valley.
Yeah, when I
Uh,
was out there 3 years ago, and there was some hikes, and but you know, beautiful country, and the hiking in ain't that bad, but gee whiz, you gotta hike back up the valley to the main trail, and boy, after a hard day of crevicing and stuff, that can be quite a chore.
yeah, yeah. That hiking, you gotta know when to cut yourself off halfway.
I don't know if he has any nuggets to share, Robert. I don't think we have any gold porn tonight, friends. but you never know. I'll ask. You have any gold to show these gold perverts? Because they like
Burgers.
gold. They like
Uh,
gold. Nuggets, whatever.
I don't have anything good. I used to have a heart-shaped, good-sized little picker from California Motherlode, a pay dirt bag, but I gave that to Julie from
Uh,
Benching Mining, actually.
nice.
Most of my stuff is the tiny stuff that's trapped in my dirt.
No, sorry, Jeff. No pouring.
No porn nuts, sir. I'm sorry.
Right? I hear you, bent fork. Bent fork says creek rapist. You get a free pass on the gold porn for doing something nice for Julie. Julie is awesome. Yes, she is very awesome. She does a great job representing the community in whole at shows and stuff, especially for the
Yeah,
YouTube prospecting community.
I have so much respect for Julie and owe her so much. Like, yeah.
You know, Benzo, I'm sorry, Brandon. Uh, my buddy Benzo, he's from the Carolinas. I got to see him. It's been years since I've seen him last over the weekend. I took still pictures only that whole weekend. I brought my GoPros and stuff, didn't use them once, didn't do any vertical videos. I got some pictures of like Mary, you know, Carson, and few others, but no videos. I guess it was just that kind of crowd. You have a bunch of YouTubers together and no one breaks out their video cameras. um, so now, from your experience as a new prospector, what are some of the most important tips or advice you would give someone newer to gold prospecting?
Find the gold first. So you know, when I started, I didn't really research it or anything. I spent a good month trying to separate, like gold panning. I spent a good month trying to separate the pyrite flakes on the top of the water from the rest of it. Uh, yeah, find that one little speck in your pan and see how much differently it acts compared to the rest of the material. Because once you see that, then you'll know that you're on the gold.
Mm.
All it
Yeah,
takes is
no,
that one little
learn to
speck.
know the difference between the fool's golds and real gold. Once you know, it's hard to not. But that kind of reminds me, a friend of mine, a prospector, um, some of you might know him, but when he first started, when he was green as a greenhorn could be, um, he thought he was hitting the mother lode and he's collecting all kinds of the sparkly gold stuff. Ended
Yeah.
up being mica.
Yep.
But that's a hard lesson to learn. Working and sluicing and banning and thinking doing good and you're collecting a bunch of mica.
Yeah.
What I'd suggest is do your research if you want to find gold, go to where gold has been found before. But before you do that, before you go solo and looking for open land or land where you can prospect that is not open to mineral entry, or some of the state parks and forests or other places where you can work, join a club. Uh, Join a local club. They'll, with most local clubs, the main problem is land, access to gold bearing land, and clubs tend to have claims. So that gives you access. Then it gives you access to people that have been doing it for a while and most of the time are more than willing to to uh, let you glean from their experience and knowledge and even get you on equipment. If it's cleanup equipment or dredges or high bankers, sluices, and pans. And I would suggest learn to pan and learn to pan well, because regardless if you use something like branded Siphon Sluice or a Blue Bowl or a banjo pan recycling sluice like I do with my banjo pan in my shed, or any other type stage to get your cons closer to clean gold. No matter what, it starts with the pan and it ends with the pan. So it's best to find a pan that fits you best and learn how to use it and develop your own style. There is no wrong way to pan. It's pretty much 3 basic steps. It's just your techniques and how you do things. You always got to pan. That's right, Brad. You always got to pan. Starts with the pan, it ends with the pan. No matter
And
what kind of gizmos and cool little devices you put in the middle there. But the faster you could get those black, juicy concentrates into pure gold, the sooner you could sell it or look at it and say, oh, precious, my precious gold. Like
and
said,
I can say too is that build up your confidence. Make sure you're confident in your technique and everything. It's always that's one thing I learned is it's if you're not confident about your method or your device, you might be losing time. So become confident.
Ed has a little roll when he washes. It's amazing. It helps get the bigger pebbles out when I kind of rock my pan back and forth. And what I'm doing is I'm getting the bigger, like, pebbles, the aggregates, to roll out of my pan above my blondes and black sands. It works really well. One day I'll have to do another panning video, but I'm not really a teacher, I don't think. It's like do type thing. But maybe I'll have to do a in the shed panning tutorial how I pan. But everyone pans different. Everyone. And some faster than others. I trust my McKirk sluice the most. It's a good drop bed. It's a good drop riffle system. Too bad they're out of business, I think. Mr. Tim for Gold. Good to see you, buddy. Tim, say hi to Sarah and the kiddos. Are you gonna be at Fossick? I'm gonna be at Fossick. Why do you think? Oh, Heath's talking to Mary. Sometimes my live chat room confuses me, Brandon.
Yeah.
Those were nice marbles. I donated on the raffles, Brad. I donated. I would have liked to win something up there. There were some great giveaways over the weekend. Now that question, I've been kind of utilizing ChatGPT for questions for my guests, and they've been throwing in some pretty, I don't know what you would call that question, a woke question, but it's, I guess for California it would fit in. Environmentally responsibility is crucial in any form of mining. How does the Siphon Sluice and your other products promote sustainable and responsible prospecting practices? There's a gotcha question right there, huh?
That is actually a really good question. And so years ago, I heard about the mercury-free mining deal, and I always thought it'd be cool if I could really try try to contribute to that, um, just contribute to that. I don't know, I forgot the word I was going to use, but I think I think that this could really help. The simplicity, the yeah, I forget what I was going with, but the simplicity, what I'm working on with the crushed ore, because that's really the goal. The really challenging stuff is the crushed ore, where they have to use mercury to recover gold. So I'm
The
hoping that this will eventually help with that situation. And I have reached out to Mark. Poor boy, I struggle with his last name. He talked to me. Yeah. We shared some emails, and he sort of quit talking to me because I tend to, when I talk to people, I tend to talk a lot, especially through emails and text. So if you ever talk to me through email and text, I'm sorry, just how I talk. um, but yeah, I really like to. The problem is with making anything easier, there's going to be more production,
right.
and more production means more environmental problems. But if we could remove the mercury side of things, then then the higher production will offset the damaging effects of mercury and all those other problems.
Okay. Uh,
All right, my love. Sorry, my wife is over here in the background texting me.
that's okay. Um, well, is she texting you like, "Come on, I'm hungry. We need to go"?
No. She's trying to give me pointers about sustainability, recycle, also about the plastic bottles.
Oh, yeah, that's one thing I like. You can reuse uh recycle, reuse with your hoppers and stuff. It fits any bottle, and just reuse, reuse. Technology and innovations continue to evolve in the mining industry. We see it all over, don't we, everybody? Um, what trends or advancements do you see in the horizon that could further revolutionize um, gold prospecting? Is the nano one of them?
So I'm kind of stuck on the fact that you have an input, output, and the hopper. Everything else is separated from atmospheric pressure.
Right.
So you can run it through a trap like this. You can then feed it into a trap like this. You can then feed it into another trap. And theoretically, if we have enough pressure and siphon, we could endless traps running through.
Right.
Each trap can be built for different things. I honestly think the hermetically sealed traps, yes, you have the issue with classifying. You have to make sure it's classified right. But once you get past that point, I think that hermetically sealed devices is going to be a game changer for sure. And it's all scalable. Depending, obviously, scaling this up to a large mine scale, you have issues with sealing the containers and all that stuff. But
Right.
I think it's scalable. I think it's, yeah.
Well, I could see why it would be. If you can make it this big, why can't you make it that big? I like
Yeah,
where
sorry,
this
you
is
got me
going.
excited there on that.
All things country, our neighbor to the north. I like where this is going. If you have multiple precious minerals in your area, you could potentially catch them all in different drops.
Yeah, each so again, I'm not an expert, but I starting to learn that each material has specific gravity. Obviously, gold is the most one, but like silver and all those other ones are a little closer to the black sands and stuff that we try to separate them from.
Mm-hmm.
With with hermetically sealed devices, when you have an input and basically you have an output sucking it out, they're both input and output are working together to process the material. When you have, say, you have a regular fluid bed and you have material flowing in, the output is random, like the rim of everything. But when it's sealed like that, you have a lot more control over your trap, basically. Sorry, I'm getting to that point where I'm more confident and I'm like starting to go on a rant.
It's all
Yeah.
right. Um, now looking ahead, what are your goals and future plans for toothpick mining and the Siphon Sluice? I know you've touched on it a bit, and I'm sorry if some of these are repetitive. Are there any you've already talked about a couple of new things coming up? but those questions are like any new products or developments you are excited about. What can you share with us? Or is it top secret?
Oh, yeah.
Corporate
It used
corporate secrets.
shoot, no corporate here. It used to be. I used to be a little more secretive about it, but these days it's just like whatever. I want to show it. So I definitely want to get back to the original Siphon Sluice thing that I was working on
Mm-hmm.
eventually. I do have a couple of other ideas, completely different, that I want to work on. Um, yeah, there's a lot to come, but I don't want to skip over anything important. So uh, I keep thinking about different ideals, certain things to add to this. I want to make sure I want to make sure I'm happy with this and then move forward.
Right. Well, that's understandable. Definitely. Now, I know you have some happy camper customers. Uh, can you share some success stories or feedback from users who have tried the Siphon Sluice? How has it enhanced their gold prospecting experience? I'm sure, like your Aussie friend has gave you feedback and did his own adjustments to it, like you showed. And but I'm sure Julie from Banshee Mining and Mike from Vendetta Prospecting probably uh, talked to you about it also. Um, can you share any other feedback with us, or do you? If you don't want to, that's fine too. But
Well, yeah, no, I'm up to about 61 customers right now. For the 99% of the time, it's been positive feedback. Same.
very good.
So when I did my test, I got 90+% in the first run, the rest in the second. Um, and everybody seems to share the same results. Um, there's for the most part, it's kind of overwhelming, but they've had a very positive experience. There's some mentions like it earlier when I first started selling them, they said that I should add arrows to indicate the flow, which I did eventually. And just yeah, just little things. Um, but for the most part, yeah, it's overwhelming because I didn't expect this much attention and this much feedback, positive feedback. So yeah,
Well, don't get gun shy from it and pull back.
I
Yes,
try not to.
you
Yeah.
might get a bunch of people wanting to make orders and stuff, but and I guess that could drive you nuts. How many 3D printers do you have working? Are you like oh shoot, Colton Young and have like 20 printers going?
Not yet. No. And shout out to Culture. Like before I even started messing with the nanos like back in the day, he used to comment on all my videos and give me encouragement and stuff. So definitely shout out to him. No.
That's cool.
Uh I have one functioning right now, have two others that are just I'm not comfortable with printing final products, but I'll actually have a printer coming tomorrow, another printer. So I'll have like two up and running that I can print actual products on. So
Welsh in Australia says he has 3D printers running right now. Noisy buggers, he's calling them. Mr. Lodak um, has something. Has he ever experimented with any other 3D printed cleanup system, i.e., high bankers, sluice, etc., etc., etc.?
uh no, so I actually haven't. Um so when I first started this, I just wanted to create something that I could use. I didn't really like in the very beginning, I wasn't really trying to create a product. But once I started making some progress and created something that was useful to me, I was like, well, maybe other people will find it useful. And that's sort of what led into this toothpick mining.
Right on. And you're like, maybe I'll be able to make a buck with this or something, right?
Yeah, maybe get away from construction and stuff.
That's what I've been doing all my life.
Yep.
Construction. It's like the mafia. You try and get away and it pulls you back.
The
Um,
deeper you get, yeah.
and I kind of feel that everyone almost in the gold prospecting either tries to find one way or another to subsidize income to help somehow, some way towards prospecting, if it's,
Yeah,
you know, one way
that
or
was my
another.
that was my naive thought in the very beginning. It's like, oh, I'm in California, I have a pen, I'm gonna go out there, get enough gold so I can just leave this whatever I'm doing. And
Get me out
quickly
of
learn.
construction, but it can be a brutal. There's it's such a small niche, and a specialized niche. Um, it can be kind of brutal, but never know. You could be like the next Mike Pun or something, and you'll you'll have everyone on the planet wanting siphon sluices.
Yeah, if only I could stay in the shadows and uh I'm starting to get better at this uh community stuff, being, more open and engaging.
Yeah, it's okay. We're not all like David Villa and really good with talking to people and open, and he's a real natural. Let me see. Is Brandon in construction, or where you say get you out of construction? Yes, he sounded like he's in construction too, and I've tried to
Yeah,
get out of construction several times, Mr. Lodak, and I always end up back in
yep.
it. Mr. Lodak's in construction too.
Yeah, some people love it, but most of the time it's just all we know.
I enjoy it, and but back out west, California, Washington, I did all custom work. And out here in the Midwest, I do all industrial commercial work,
Mm,
you know. It's I it's yeah, I'm still kind of proud of my work, but it isn't something that it would be like with some of the houses I built out west, or like when I did the drawings and remodeled all of Woods Logging in Cedar Woolley, Washington, down to the doors. The front doors, I made the front doors too, along with the counter and everything else. Um, it's a different pride in your work, I guess.
Yeah.
But one
Yeah.
thing about construction, my end of construction, Mr. Lodak, I could be painting one day, I could be steel stud framing the next day, sheet rocking the next day after that. And isn't yours almost the same thing every day, but different place? Just saying, Jurin, just saying. What do you do in the trade, Brandon?
I'm mainly a residential remodeler.
Oh,
So
cool.
yeah, I have a boss I've worked for the past 5 years, and whenever a property gets vacant, we just go through and gut it and change
Does
it
he
up.
flip them?
What's that?
Does he flip the houses you work on, or are they
Yeah.
rentals or
Oh
flips?
no, no. Yeah, they're rentals.
Okay.
Yeah, they're up there in Lafayette.
Careless whispers, I have to bail for the night. 3 a.m. comes early, everyone. Have a good evening. Thanks for the stream, Flash, and thank you, Toothpick Mining, for the cool stuff today as well. Thank you, Careless, for joining us tonight. We'll see you around, girl. Good night.
Yeah,
And
thank you. Have a
and
good night.
3 a.m. does come early. Thank God I don't have to wake up that early, at least yet. Right now, I'm remodeling a residence for the handicapped. Just did the bathrooms, finished the bathrooms. I just today I finished installing new railing and post on their front porch. Tomorrow I'll be caulking and painting, and I'll be out of there onto the next project. I think I have to go to Pepsi Cola after that.
Nice. Yeah, it's I
Yeah,
started off framing houses when I was like 16. I did that for a couple years with my dad, but yeah, once I got into like the handyman and remodeling, it was a lot more engaging, entertaining and stuff.
I used to do pretty well out west, um, a little of this and a little of that. Don't do it so much anymore. I go do my 8 to 10 hours a day at my job and come home and try and do everything else on the computer where I could get fat and gain some weight in my old age.
Yeah, which seems to be hard for some people. It's especially me. It's
What, gain weight?
yeah,
I know how you feel. I know how you feel.
yeah.
I'm about the same weight I was in high school.
I
And
know. Everybody told me once you reach 30, oh, you're gonna fill out.
gonna get a big pot belly or a beer belly and gonna be
Yeah, yeah,
good.
yep.
Where's that pot belly? I don't have it yet, damn it. I need to eat more carbohydrates or something. I don't know. Well, um, Mr. Slodak said, I turned 40 and got my belly. I had 20/20 vision when I was 40, 21, 42, and my eyesight went downhill. um, well, thank you, Brandon, for
Yeah.
taking me up on bringing you on Tuesday Night Hangout Live. I appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed yourself, and next time when you come on, you have a better idea what it's all about, and you could feel a lot more comfortable, you know. And
Yeah. Yeah. I was a little shy and intimidated here. Still, but I'm trying. I definitely
you're doing
appreciate it.
fine. You're doing fine. Hey, David Bogan, how you doing? Say hi to Mita for me. Uh, gonna by about ready to do the end of stream giveaway. We have Adventures Sluice from our friends over at prospectorsdream.com. They're really handy. They throw right in your backpack. Um, and they do catch gold. Um, and Robert DePotti says, but next time bring some gold porn.
All right, I'll make sure I get my pan full of that good stuff.
Next time. So if you want to get on a adventure sleuth, everybody, unfortunately, this is for the United States of America, and I don't want to force my friends over at Prospector's Dream to send it to Australia, New Zealand, or wherever. So I'm keeping it on the United States only. So if you want to get in on the end of stream giveaway, just type in the chat Adventure Sleuth the way you see it. It's not case sensitive, but it does require a hashtag and it be one word, two syllables. So, and if I don't see no one getting in on it, oh well. That's okay too. I see Brad's getting in on it. There you go. I'll give you guys several minutes while Brandon and I make fun of you guys or something. We'll talk about something. And I'll give you all 3 minutes. That will go down pretty quick. It goes pretty quick during the auctions, huh, Mr. Lodak? There you go. Populating, populating, populating. Oh, yeah, we could probably
The
do
first person to
Canada.
spell sluice wrong.
Huh?
The first person to spell sluice wrong.
Well,
Okay.
they're going after me. So, did I spell it wrong?
No. I was just trying to add to the conversation.
Oh, yeah, okay. Sorry. Nothing quick in the auction. I hear you that, Mr. Lodak. What you doing, guy? Distracted? I always get distracted. Uh, hey, look, squirrel. It's that ADHD. That ADHD.
There you go, Shaluce.
There you go. The most creative way to say sluice. Yeah.
Saluche.
Yen calls it salucci. Hmm. Interesting. All right, we got 6 eligibles in there for it. And right when the timer counts down, I'm gonna roll and see who gets it. And if you would send me the winner, whoever wins. I do ask you, email me at flashinyourpan@gmail.com within 24 hours, please. That way I can pass it over to Dave or Tim at prospectorstream.com, and it will be coming to you from the factory from the home base of DreamMat, prospectorstream.com out of Montana. And yeah, I won't hunt you down. So if no one claims it, if the winner don't claim it within 24 hours, I'll be giving this month's giveaway to someone next week. So, but we have a few eligible. Let me turn that alarm up, and who's gonna win? David Bogan! Congratulations, David. I'm really like 99.5% sure I have your address somewhere, but I'm not quite sure, David. If you wouldn't mind, either email it to me or shoot it over to me on Facebook Messenger. That'd be great, my friend. And I'll get it sent to David Peterson over at Prospector Stream, and he'll get it out to you. I should have asked MJ while she was here if she got hers, because she won one not too couple of months ago, I think. Who's Nightbot? That's my pet bot, Nightbot. It's a tool for live streaming, Bobby. It's a tool. Congratulations, David. Nightbot.
No
Dick with
ears.
no ears. Oh, too funny. Too funny. All right, you guys. Next week on the show, I'm having Amber Monroe, the host of Rockhound Talk Live. They're a really new YouTube channel. Well, not sure if they're quite real new. They're young. Not a lot of subs. They put on a pretty good show. I go in and listen and watch their podcasts there on YouTube and Facebook sometimes. Really nice person. I look forward to that show. I know she prospects. I know she gem hunts and rock hounds. So, too late, Brad. Too late. Too late, buddy. It's Nightbot sucks. Didn't pick you, huh, Robert? Damn Nightbot. Didn't pick me. But that's who's on next week. Amber from Rockhound Talk Live. I don't know if I'll have her co-host with us. I think it's just going to be Amber, which that's fine with me. Ah, you went to the loo, huh? Well, damn. Doggone loos will do it all the time. Again, Brandon, thank you very much for joining us.
Yes, sir. Thank you for
Get
having me.
cracking, get product ready, because hopefully some of these people will buy something. If you ever need beta testers, you could always send one out to me.
Hey,
But
yeah, I wish I would have known about. I think I did know about you before, but if I'd have known you would have tested it out. Yes,
oh
sir.
yeah, I've done beta testing for Mike Pung. I'm I do beta testing for Prospector's Dream. Um, and some beta testing for another guy who was in the business, but he's making guitars and golfing now. So I
Mm.
don't know. So new interests.
All right. Well,
But yeah, feedback's always good, and it gets product out there so people can see it too. You check out ToothPick Prospecting, everybody, here on YouTube. Um, I think he has a pretty cool little gadget going on there with his fluid bed system. Um, and for $55 as of now, so keep an eye on his website because things will get stocked, and from what I understand, prices might come down, everybody. So don't quote me on that, you know. But I heard something I kind of like it. I thought from a little bird told me earlier. Yeah, that's it. Would you like to say anything before we part ways, Brandon?
uh, I'm I'm just glad I made it through this, and I wish everybody a good night. And yeah, I'll get better at this communication stuff and
Oh, you
being
should
out
have
there
saw
showing my
me when I
face.
first started the show 6 years ago. Oh my God.
Yeah.
No, not this weekend, Robert. The weekend of the 8th. It's not Memorial Day weekend, it's the weekend of the 8th. So, but I'll be at the Swank West for Fossick. Um, Ben Fork says, you did good, Brandon. It was nice having you, Brandon. Welcome to the community. All Things Country says.
Yeah, thank you everybody. Thank you for listening. And
Ben Fork says, get it out there and do it. That's right. That's right. Mr. Lodak says, it took me 3 years to call in. So you're doing great. And everybody, there's an after party over at goldprospectorspace.com where Mr. Lodak will be dropping a Zoom link. So if you want to get over there and listen to a bunch of prospectors talk, it's always a good time with my friends over there at goldprospectorspace.com. Everybody, until next time, may you always have a flash in your pan. And you know what I like to say because it does happen. Ask Mary right there in the room. It does happen. Ask Brad Holden, Rocky Mountain Prospector. It does happen. Maybe one day too, we'll meet you on the river. But you know what? This very second, me and Brandon, you guessed it, we're out of here. Good night, everybody. Thank you all very much. Thank you. Thank you. Elvis, left the floor.
peace.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.